You know, I always wanted to moonwalk, but I never could. I guess I'm just not much of a dancer. Speaking of moonwalking, today we're going to play a very special game. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis. In the 80s, Michael Jackson was the shit. He was larger than life. He released an album called Thriller. You may have heard of it. It's only the best-selling album of all time. Michael Jackson released his own film titled Moonwalker in 1988. It was an anthology of sorts that featured extended music videos and short films. Video games titled Michael Jackson's Moonwalker followed a year later for home computers and then 2 years later for the arcade and Sega home consoles. Each version of the game features different gameplay. For example, the arcade version of the game is more of a standard beat-em-up, whereas the Genesis version is an action platformer. Oh boy. Since I happen to own the case and the manual, let's take a look at it before we play the game.
Michael! Katie's voice rings out. You found her, but more children are still lost. Can you stop the psycho mastermind Mr. Big and his goon squad before they kidnap all the kids? You can, if you're Michael Jackson. Moonwalk on muggers, lean on meanies, and pop the punks. Out-fight, out-jump, out-dance. Move like only Michael can to the beat of Smooth Criminal, Beat It, Billie Jean, and Bad. No bad guy can last through Michael's star magic. Punch down gangsters in Club 30, rumble in the streets, swing, spin, and kick past graveyard ghouls, chill in the caverns, then sizzle 'em up with ultra-tech weapons in Mr. Big's hideout. Experience the baddest video game ever. Defy physics with Michael's dancing. You never lose your cool. See it and be it. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Goodbye, world peace. Mr. Big, the psycho mastermind of crime, is wiping out love on our planet. He and his goons are kidnapping every child on Earth. Mr. Big plans to brainwash all these innocent children and turn them into his slaves. Mr. Big is the ultimate bad guy, and no one knows how to stop him until superstar Michael Jackson, alias Moonwalker, the champion of love and peace, takes charge. I like how this section says master your moves. Moonwalk. Attack enemies above by pressing the button B and the D button up. And you can jump down by pressing the D button down and button C. I like these. These are helpful hints. You need to know these. Get ready for great bad guys. They've got personality and surprising moves. You fucking lying, booklet. I know you're lying. Experiment with combining different buttons. As Michael, you can strut some amazing moves. Impossible places aren't. Search everywhere for children. Leap, kick, and use magic to open all doors and move all objects. See if you can figure out how to transform Michael into an ultra-tech robot. Then find out what real magic is. And finally, practice, practice, practice. We talking about practice?
Here it is. Let's go.
Each stage plays a different Michael Jackson song in the background. The first stage is Club 30, and the song is Smooth Criminal. The controls are pretty simple. The A button uses Michael's star magic. Pressing it will cause Michael to spin. Holding the A button for longer causes Michael to do different things, such as throw his hat, or even make all the enemies on screen dance with him. His dancing is so goddamn cool that it kills you. You can moonwalk, of course. You just hold down the attack button and then move Michael backwards. I spent more time doing this than I would like to admit. The objective of each level is to rescue all of the kidnapped children. All of the kidnapped children look and sound the exact same though. Once you find all of the kidnapped children, Bubbles, Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee, will point you in the direction of the boss. When you reach the area that Bubbles points at, Mr. Big walks out and taunts you saying, "You'll never catch me."
You will never get this, la 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 la.
The actual bosses of the stage themselves are usually just a horde of enemies that you've already fought on the stage. There are a few exceptions though. The children are hidden behind doors or inside of containers, so you have to check every one of them to find them all. I mean, look at this. Look at all these doors. You have to check them all. What the fuck is he doing? Excuse me, miss. Do you have an OnlyFans? The second stage is the streets. Of course, Beat It is the theme for this stage. I really hate these dogs. They're hard to hit with your attacks. Occasionally, you have the opportunity to catch a falling star. Doing so turns Michael into a giant robot.
No, makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me.
The boss of the street is some silver dog that dances. This must have been Michael Vick's dog. He summons regular dogs to attack you. I found out the hard way that the other dogs just keep coming unless you kill the leader. This is easier said than done though, because he runs away anytime you get close. The next stage is the woods, although it looks more like a graveyard to me. This would be a perfect stage for the song Thriller, but I believe there was a licensing issue and it couldn't be used. Instead, you get Another Part of Me. The boss of the woods are these two zombies that fly in the air, dropping missiles on you. If you let the two zombies start flying around and attacking, this fight can be really hard. The key, I found out, is to blitz one of the zombies when it first appears. You can attack him over and over before he gets a chance to do anything. Once you kill the first zombie, killing the second one is much easier. The next stage is the Cavern, and you get to hear Billie Jean. The enemies in the cavern have put up signs strictly prohibiting any dancing. The boss of the caverns is just a horde of enemies. I got killed because I suck. The last level is the enemy's hideout, with the song Bad. Bad is exactly how I feel about this stage because it's annoying. There are lots of lasers being fired at you from different directions. Fuck computers. The boss fight of the enemy hideout is against a horde of enemies, and the game forces you to transform into the giant robot. Interestingly enough, if you jump at the right time, you can bypass this and force the enemies to dance with you, which wins the fight immediately. Congratulations, you've defeated all of Mr. Big's henchmen. You've escaped from the traps Mr. Big set for you. You rescued all of the children Mr. Big kidnapped. Now it's time for the final challenge, you versus Mr. Big. Mr. Big flies off in a spaceship, and Michael transforms into a spaceship of his own and goes after him. The final fight is completely different from the rest of the game and is something akin to Star Fox. You follow Mr. Big and you shoot at him until he dies. Congratulations!
So that was Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis. It's not an amazing game, but it's not bad. For the novelty of what it is, I definitely think it's one of my favorite games that I own. Michael Jackson's music is timeless, regardless of what you think about the controversy surrounding him. But thank you guys for watching this episode. I'll see you again next time.